Hello everyone. Now you have obviously by this time seen your new words list. If you did the previous lesson with me about the new words, you would know a little bit about them. But new words and naughty words are our enemies sometimes when we really try and read just like as if we're speaking. So we don't like stuttering. And when you stutter when you read, you lose some of the meaning. So, in order for us to read fluently, it's actually necessary to teach ourselves some skills so that we can overcome some of those naughty words, some of those hurdles that make us want to stutter or stop and break the fluency and even the meaning of what we are reading. So let's look at a few ways that we can use to help ourselves to keep on flowing when we are reading. Okay, so first of all, I've got a few sentences on the board here for you. And this comes out of your reading lesson, out of your book for the week, grade 2, book 2, level 2. And we're going to read this sentence. Now, these words are not naughty words. They're all words that you know. So we're going to read them comfortably. Read with me. Jane and Mandu were their bikes. Okay, so now if you see a difficult word, I've taken out the difficult word out of that question. So here's a few words that could go into the open space there. I hope you can see the words. Are they a bit small?
No, you can see them.
Oh, you can see them clearly. Lovely. They look small to me. But then I'm old. Okay, so let's just rely on your good eyes. Now, there's a few difficult words, and one of these words actually jumped into that sentence. Right? And when I just look at this, the rest of the sentence, I would not be able to, I can guess what that word must be. So, Jane and Mandu were their bikes. So what can you do on a bike? Okay, so you guessed it right. Jane and Mandu were riding their bikes. So now you can kind of guess, what do I do on a bike? Yes, I ride on a bike and see the word riding. Then, Jane hit a sharp rock. Now that is a shock. Do you plan to hit a sharp rock when you're riding? Definitely not. So it's something that happens to you when you least expect it, especially if you were going a bit fast. Your parents will tell you also if there's potholes on the road, they need to drive slowly so that they will not be surprised and go through them quickly. So, but now Jane was unfortunately going a bit fast, if you listen to the story. So here's the word, the naughty word, and it says suddenly, suddenly. So you can look at the rest of the sentence. Jane hit a sharp rock. Not something you would plan. Starts with this. Suddenly. Yes. Suddenly Jane hit a sharp rock. Here's another sentence. Oh. And saw her was flat. Okay, so let's guess what's going to be flat. There we go. What is that? If you drive with your bike and you suddenly hit a sharp rock, then I think your tire will be flat. Your tire. So out of the meaning of the sentence and the story, we can guess what the words have to be. Oh no, she cried. I have a... What? What happens if you hit a sharp rock to your tire? I have a... Oh, there we see it. It starts with a P. A puncture. So it is a naughty word. It's a difficult word. But it is something that we could understand out of the story. Now, don't worry, Jane. Mandu. So they were talking in the past. And Jane was very shocked. She said, oh no, I have a puncture. And then her friend, because after all the book is about best friends, and this is now something that happened in the past. So then Jane says, Mandu says, don't worry, Jane. Mandu, when somebody says something and you say something back, you reply. But because it happened in the past, we say replied. Did you bring the pump and? What do you fix a tire with? Got that right. And a repair kit. A repair kit. Maybe your mom or dad also needed a repair kit for their tire. So there we go. Now we can read over our naughty words fluently. Let's read all these sentences together. Jane and Mandu were riding their bikes. Suddenly, Jane hit a sharp rock. She looked down and saw her tire was flat. Oh no, she cried. I have a puncture. Don't worry, Jane, Mandu replied. Did you bring the pump and repair kit? Okay, so that was a conversation that the two friends had. Sometimes we can look at naughty words also and try and think, where do they actually come from? Why does this word not look like the words that I can easily read? And then you can ask yourself, maybe this is a word that happened in the past. Now sometimes when we talk in the past, it's something that already it's finished and it's in the past. So it's gone. Which means right now, if I go, ah, I shout. But just now, somebody will tell somebody else outside there, she shouted. Okay? Shouted. Because it's something that I already done. So shout plus id makes shouted. Can you see? Now the word looks extra long. And maybe that gives you a fright when you are reading. But shout plus id for the past tense says shouted. Now this is the word, yeah, cry. That's quite easy to read, a three-letter word. But what if I didn't cry now? What if I already cried? Okay? Then it's also in the past tense. Cry plus id. The id makes cried. And look what happens. Look what happens. When cry becomes cried, what happened? The year had to go. It was replaced by the I over there. And it makes cried. So it looks like a naughty word, but we can explain it. The word replied is already here. And replied and cried are family of each other. Do you see that? So reply is when I say something and you say something back. Then you have replied to whatever I've said. So here we go. It's reply plus id. She replied. And it's the same as cried. The ya needs to go. And look what we get there. The I jumps in. Can you see? Here's the word mutter. Now mutter we can break up mut It's not so difficult. But if we see a long word, mattered, it might slow us down a bit. But now look, it's just matter, but it happened in the past, and that's why it gets the it. And it says mattered. Another way of finding out how to read a word is to clap your words. Now, I'm going to put these one syllable words up for you to see. And sometimes when you clap a word, you can find out, if you clap a word while you say it or read it, you can find out if it's a one syllable word or a two syllable word. If it's one syllable, then you have to sound the word to find out what it is if you don't know. Let's say, for instance, let's clap the word near. Near. Let's clap the word should. Should. Let's clap the word fast. Fast. And sharp. Sharp. Clap with me. Bikes. Bikes. You can only clap once on these words. That's why they're called one syllable words. But lucky for us, there's always things in words that we can recognize. Like, say, for instance, there's a sh and there's a sh. All right? Oh, that starts with sh. Sharp. Okay, that must be sharp. And it helps us to get going. If we can recognize a sound in a word, it helps a lot. And that's why you need to know your sounds if you want to learn to read. Okay, so let's look at the two syllable words. We are also going to clap these words just now. And I've actually drawn a small purple line every time where the word breaks up and we need to clap. Okay. So let's see if I can fit them in here. I've got quite a few two-syllable words here with the naughty words today. Naughty words, I call them naughty words because they try to slow us down. But actually, they are called sight words. That means you have to look at them and try and figure them out. Oh, I wasn't supposed to put this one in here. Not yet, although it would fit. Okay, let's clap this word. This word says towards. Let's clap it. Towards. Chirping. Let's clap it. Chirping. See these two parts? Chirping. Hooting. Let's clap it. Hooting. Croaking. Croaking. About. About. River. River. Faster. Faster. Okay, so there we have it. Some words have two syllables and we can then cover one part of the word and try and figure out the other part. Chirping, hooting, croaking, and so forth. Then there's also a few naughty words. They look naughty. They're not really naughty, but they look a little bit naughty because they're so big. And the only reason why they grew so tall or they're so long is because there's two of them stuck together in one word. Let's look at that. Say, for instance, we take this, I've got the little papers here. We take this little piece of paper and use it as you would use your finger. Then you look at the word and say, this is a long word. Maybe there's a part of the word I can cover. And you can cover the last bit of the word. And then this bit is easy to read. Her, self. You see? And together, if you put them together, it says herself. So herself, in fact, are two small words, her and self. You see? And we've put them together and they're called compound words. That's why they're long words. On this one at the bottom here, you can also see the same thing. This one is also two words put together. Say for instance, I cover the last bit of the word. I can see the first bit says moon. And now if I cover the first part of the word, you see the part at the end there is called light. Okay? So it's moon, light. Herself. Light. Take it off and you see it's moonlight. So they look small, they look easier if you see them in their smaller bits. So always try to find a smaller word in a bigger word. That makes it easier. Okay, so here we go. Moon plus light. There we go. Moon plus light says moonlight. Okay, thank you very much. I hope when you see these naughty words, you will remember some of what we've said. So let's quickly look at our ways of finding words. The first way is to read the rest of the sentence and to see, okay, well, I can figure out this word. The next way is to find out, is this de at the end not perhaps past tense? And then the word actually looks much shorter without the de, and you can figure it out. The next way is to clap the word near, should, fast, sharp, and then you know, okay, now I need to sound out that word. Maybe you can also pick up the meaning if you look at the rest of the sentence. Sometimes you can look at the pictures in a book to see what the word should be. Syllables. Syllables has to do with breaking it up into smaller parts by clapping. And compound words are two words put together and they look dangerous. They look long, but they're not really. Okay, so have fun figuring out those words and always try and practice your reading until you get it fluently. Because if we battle too much and we get stuck here and stuck there, then we don't enjoy reading. And we always want to ask mom and dad, what's this word, what's this word? And they say, oh, well, I'm busy and this and this. So best you teach yourself a few skills to attack those naughty words and get rid of them, okay? So that you can read fluently. Enjoy your reading.